think with me having people to like set this up, I would be less sweaty, but I'm still managed to get a good sweat in on before we start podcasting. Man, so thanks for coming out, dude. Pretty new to the scene, pretty new to the San Antonio comedy scene, man. First saw you on Kill Tony. No, I'm lying. I first saw you at the open mic at LOL.
Nice.
That you did really good. It was very impressive and stuff. And then I realized after that you were on the Kill Tony the week prior to that. So yeah, very impressive, dude. And that Kill Tony, that was like your first time on stage?
Yeah, first time ever. No open mics or anything before that. I had only been writing jokes for like a week. So.
Oh, yeah. How many times did you sign up for Kill Tony before you got on?
So that was the first time.
That was the first time signing up?
Swear to God. So I literally decided the week before to give it a try.
Yeah.
Went up, signed up, was the first bucket pool that night.
Damn, dude, that is fucking crazy.
Right?
How long have you been watching Kill Tony? Like thinking about like signing up for Kill Tony?
So literally like a month, maybe something like that.
Damn,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like your lifelong dream. Like,
No.
I can't wait to sign up for Kill Tony.
Yeah,
it just happened that way.
I was like aware of the name and aware of Tony Hinchcliffe, but I'd never like watched the show like until a few weeks before.
Uh-huh.
And like the algorithm just started putting more and more of the clips in my feed, and like I thought it was funny. I watched like 2 episodes, and I was like, I had been like thinking about doing stand up for a long time.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what, like, fuck it, let's go for it. You know?
What was your first time? Like, what was it that made you start thinking about like starting stand up?
Oh man, honestly, it's been probably like years that I've thought about giving it a shot.
Okay.
Right. So this year it was just like I think I'm in like full midlife crisis mode because I turned 42, and
Okay.
So it's like a case.
42 midlife? You think that's midlife?
When you look like this, I'm lucky if it's midlife. So.
I went through my midlife at 35. So
yeah. Well, man,
late bloomer you are.
Yeah, apparently in so many ways. But yeah, dude, like midlife crisis. My dad's birthday is in September.
Okay.
And so I'm always like a few depressed a few weeks ahead of that because he died a few years ago during COVID.
Okay. Sorry.
And between already being in full midlife crisis mode, throw some extra depression on that, Kill Tony comes into my algorithm, like you combine all those, I'm like, what am I doing sitting around here like pouting and being unhappy? Like, just fucking go for it.
Were you doing anything else before? Like, were you like doing music or acting or anything?
No,
else?
like nothing creative, right?
Nothing creative?
Nothing creative at all. So just being a worker bee in corporate life and all that good stuff. So.
Yeah. I just wanted to switch it up.
Yeah.
And pretty lucky at it too. Like for it being like your first time signing up, first bucket pool, and you did pretty impressive. You did pretty awesome on that one.
Thanks. Yeah. It's funny too because like right after I went on, I saw on Instagram an old friend of mine, Jimmy, who runs some of the mics at Narbar in Austin on 6th. We used to work together a long time ago, and I saw like he was doing comedy, and I was like, "Oh, hey man, like I just went on Kill Tony like 2 days ago," and he was like, "Are you kidding me? I've signed up like 45 times in a row and haven't been pulled," and it just. I don't know.
That must piss some people off. First time
I don't think a lot of people know. I think it's going to piss them off after this.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought you were going to be like, I've been waiting for months, doing my 8 Mile moment. Whenever they pull the bucket.
No,
well, that's good, man.
Just Mr. Magoo'd my way onto Kill Tony. So.
Yeah, I mean, the first time that I got on Kill Tony was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and I kind of like manifested it. I was a huge fan because the first time they were like touring, they were still out of L.A., out of the Comedy Store, and touring on there. And so they were at LOL and bucket pool. And I told my wife, I was like, man, I'm going to get on. I know I'm going to get on. And then they're like, all right, let's wrap it up. It's the end of the show. Or should we pull one more name for the bucket? And yeah, I was like, they're going to call me up right now. And sure enough, they called me up. I closed that show 7 years ago, and that's when wasn't my first time on stage. That was like probably my 25th time on stage ever, and got pulled. And from then on, the first time I got on Kill Tony, I was addicted to this thing, and I haven't stopped since.
It's powerful going out in front of 300 people,
crazy,
and them actually laughing at what you say.
Yeah,
you kind of get why comedians do cocaine because. you really like want to chase that feeling.
Yeah, it's the chasing that feeling thing. Like even when I did the Kill 20 at the mothership, completely different experience.
Yeah.
Completely different. The mothership's very overwhelming. It was my first time on that stage. I've done the little boy room a couple times before, but that stage, and I've only been to one show there at the mothership for David Tell. I'm a huge David Tell fan.
Nice.
But I don't know. Have you seen a show there before? At the mothership?
Yeah. I'd seen. I went to Ali Sadiq like a few months before.
Okay.
Which was my first time going to a show in the big room.
Yeah.
And so at least I like knew the rough layout in my head and what it would look like inside. And then you watch a couple episodes, you can kind of get a feel for it.
Yeah.
But it's still like, it was a totally new sort of dynamic for me. Obviously, being on the other side.
On the other side and seeing the backstage and how they treat people when they come in and stuff.
Treat.
No, I mean like I don't mean it like in a bad way. When you say treat people, like it was just like they're very official, very efficient. And then very direct,
and they are super nice. Too.
Yeah,
that's
they're
the thing.
super
Like,
nice.
I just mean treat as in like it's such a perfunctory, like thing of like, man, you're in the door, you're on stage, you're out the door, like so quickly. It's just an absolute whirlwind. You have no time to absorb. Like, what you're doing
no
there,
time to like really get your feet set. But like they'll pull you back, empty your pockets. What do you have in your pocket? Empty your pockets now. And then so they'll be like aggressive in that way. And then like right before. One of the showrunners or whatever assistants was trying to find water for me. You want water? I was like, yeah, man, whatever you got. They're like, all we have is peach. I was like, that's fine. I need something to wet my whistle right now. And so they were very like good with that, like taking care of us before we went on. So yeah, and man, I wish because mine was good. I had Tim Butterly and Chris O'Connell. But you got to go up in front of Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy, and Sal Vulcano. Fluffy alone would have been like, that would have been an honor for me to perform in front of him. I'm a huge fan. I've been a huge fan. I assume you are a huge fan of Fluffy
amazing.
as well. Now, when you stepped out, did you look at the panel or did you just go and do your thing?
Man, I did like just a brief glance to my left just to
Did
like,
it register?
Not really, honestly. Right? So like, and the thing is, people don't realize like you don't know who's going to be on the show when you're coming out of the curtain, right? And so I was behind the curtain and I asked, I think it was like, it wasn't Colt. It was one of the other producers back there. I was like, hey, who's on panel tonight? And they're like, oh, it's Fluffy and Sal Vulcano.
Oh, so they told you.
So they told me like,
okay.
but only because I asked, right? And honestly, at that moment, I was just like, awesome, because like they. I followed both of them for a long time. They seem like cool, good people. So I was like, great. If I suck, like, they're not going to murder me with insults like some of the other panelists might. So it was actually weirdly comforting, even though like Fluffy is global icon superstar.
Yeah,
you know.
dude. So that's cool. So you knew who was on the panel before you got out there.
About 10 seconds before. So.
Yeah. And you had it all planned out. You knew exactly what you were going to do.
Yeah. So I didn't plan it fully until like I was at Shakespeare ahead of time, right? So I had some joke ideas through the week I've been writing on and all that, and I was literally like sitting there at the bar at Shakespeare up until about 30 minutes before, like rewriting the minutes I had thought of, redeciding like which one am I actually going to do, texting my wife like, hey, I think this one might be it, like what do you think of this? Just like very last minute, which is totally my style. I don't think I actually decided on the specific jokes until I was like backstage. Like even like my opener of like, hey guys, I'm going to stage dive after this and all that. I was debating like 2 or 3 different things at the bar I was going to come out with because I knew I wanted to get like an immediate just laugh or pop, right? Just to like put me at ease. And also just to get the audience on my side of like, hey, look at the big fat bear, you know? And it worked. So,
Yeah.
guess I did it the right style for me.
And so what did you do like after the Kill 20 thing where you're like, I gotta have more of this, I got more of this, I need more of this type of thing?
I mean, honestly, like the intention for me, the whole reason I went on was I wanted to use it as like a filter, right? Of like, hey, if I can go into that environment and get some laughs,
okay,
like there's real legs here, right? It means like, hey, you probably are actually funny enough to like do some stand up, so like go for it at that point, right? And so, I mean, the experience after that, like suddenly you find yourself in the alley and you're just by yourself and you're like, holy shit, like was that a fever dream? What just happened?
Yeah.
You know, I walked around Austin for about 20 minutes trying to find my car because I forgot where I parked because I was just like, the adrenaline was like so high, you know? So that was kind of a nice way for the universe to put me back in my place right away, too. I was like, lost my car, but I did find it. So.
Now I'm a little jealous that you have that because, like, the last time I did Kill Tony, I was already doing comedy for like 7 years. So, I mean, I still get the adrenaline rush, but like not as like pure as that, you know. For your first time, I could imagine like walking around for 20 minutes because you can't, nothing makes sense anymore. We're like, what's going on? Where am I? Type of thing.
Yeah, it's like a paradigm shift in life to just suddenly you're not doing comedy and then suddenly you're on Kill Tony and 4 million people are going to watch what you just did, you know.
Damn, dude. And I mean, I hate to break it to you here, but like you'll never feel that again.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure.
You'll never feel that again, dude. No matter, like, the best opportunities can
maybe
come your
with
way.
cocaine.
But I'm saying, as far as like with, well, for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as with stand up, we're doing shows. Like,
Oh, no.
You'll never have that feeling again, man.
I mean, that's like, you know, going to a bar and picking up Kim Kardashian on your first try or something like that. You know, it's like doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to top it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that sucks. I mean, like, I would retire. I would retire if I were you, dude. Because I mean, because it's such an amazing feeling, and like we have complete opposites, like attachment to it, I guess. Because for me, it seemed like I've worked so long for this moment, you know, because mine went pretty well, you know, and it helped out with opportunities because of how well it went. But for you, like that was your first time on stage, first time signing up for the Kill Tony bucket, and having a good fucking set too. Like it's just like everything just lined up that there'll never be like a perfect situation to match that ever again.
Yeah,
dude.
for sure. Like the whole thing felt so weirdly preordained while I was there too, because like you talked about being like, oh, I'm gonna get pulled, I'm gonna get pulled, right? So like for me, I'm at Shakespeare's, you know, I'm there from like, you know, 5 to 8 before they start the show and everything, and I'm sitting there writing and all that, and I'm like, probably about 6 o'clock, man, I got so nervous, like oh fuck, like what if I get pulled, like what's gonna happen, you know? And then literally like 30 minutes before the show, I was just like dead calm, like I was good, you know? And you know, when you go there, if no one's ever done this, like they tell you like, hey, when your name gets called, you have 10 seconds to like check in, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh shit, if I get called, I'm not gonna have time to like tell my wife I'm going on or anything.
Yeah.
But I felt like at that 30-minute mark before the show, I was like, I'm gonna get drawn first. Like I knew it. So I actually like pre-typed a text to my wife saying like, hey, I'm going on. Think happy thoughts.
Yeah.
And
Before you even got called.
Before I got called, half an hour before, I was the first bucket pool of the night, and I knew in my something in the universe was just saying like, hey, dude, you're going on first. Like you better be ready. And as soon as they said like, hey, JD Madison, you're on Kill Tony, send, and put my phone in my pocket, and off I went. So,
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Do you do that a lot? Do you have like situations like not lucky, but like calling your shot pretty much?
No. I mean, like every once in a while, like, but you always have the bias of like when it works out. Of course, I call my shot, right?
Yeah.
That one was like especially powerful, right? Where it was like I knew this was happening, and so just with everything leading up to it, and like me like really loving comedy and all that, and like. I think about a lot of things, right? But I don't necessarily activate on them. And
sure.
like that was like one of the only times where I'm like, I really want to give this a try. Like, I really want to do it. And then, you know, it just all the possible dominoes, all the, you know, think about multiverse and all that, all the realities I could have gone through. Like, what were the odds of it all lining up that way and me feeling that way ahead of time? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I called my wife after everything happened with mine because I didn't even think about texting the wife. I was like, the way I got pulled, it wasn't first. I knew 2 people that got called up before me.
Oh, nice.
You know, Josh Gideon got called up. I think he got called up first, and then Neil Rubenstein got called up.
Oh no. Yeah.
And I was pretty late on. I didn't realize how late I was in the episode and stuff. But when Neil never came back, I was like, "What happened to Neil? Where did Neil go? What happened to Neil and stuff?" And then they called me. I was like, "Neil who?" Like I completely forgot about my friend that I was worried about.
Hey, they killed him out back.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. So yeah, then they called me, and then both Neil and I got the audition for Adam Egget in the small room. Mine didn't go too well. I don't know how Neil's went, but mine didn't go too well. But yeah, and then like just trying to figure out like, okay, what do I do now, type of thing. Because yeah, like once you're done, like they kick you out. You're okay. We're done with you. Go about your life. Don't tell nobody what happened.
Yeah.
You didn't see nothing. Don't tell nobody nothing. Did you read that actual thing that we have to sign?
No.
I didn't read it.
No, I just assumed it was like
it's a lot of information.
Don't be a dick and disclose everything we're doing here.
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
No pictures, no. But
yeah,
I need to find out what I signed because I've signed a couple of things. I'm just like, yeah, just whatever. I just go, whatever. But I wonder what if I've broken any laws or not laws, but like agreements for posting things or doing shows or using the Kill Tony like thing.
Signed away 10% of your future podcast revenues.
Maybe it's 10% of nothing. What do you take it? I don't need it, dude. Okay, so you did the Kill Tony thing now, and like, what's your next goal? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
Oh
now?
Man, just writing, getting better, getting mic time. It's interesting because for you were already established enough. I think like Kill Tony probably opened a lot more doors for you than it did for me, because for me it's like, hey, you went up and did a minute of comedy, but no one knows, like, are you actually any good yet? You actually haven't. I didn't have material yet after that, right? Like, so have to start doing open mics and writing and all that, and like now I'm up to like a decent amount of material, but it's just like, yes, it made a difference on the start because like I wouldn't know you if not for that appearance, more than likely, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so some cool things, getting on some shows maybe earlier than I would have otherwise. But other than that, I mean, it's like anybody in their first year, stage time, writing, trying to make connections with people, you know. I think my big goal, like, I'd love to get by, the end of 2026 to where I'm getting like reliably booked, for like 15-minute, 20-minute spots, right? Like, that's a taller tale than maybe I know at this point, but I have the ignorance of inexperience right now, so I'm trying to like be aggressive and do what I can.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that ignorance of inexperience for sure, but also, like, you started late, I started late. I didn't start comedy until I was like 35, so like the sense of urgency to like hurry up and get better, work as hard as you can, take it a little bit more serious than like the younger comics would. I think that's going to benefit you as well if this is something that you want to pursue. I'm not saying like make a career of it or whatever, but like that helped me being coming into it a little older than like people that start like in their 20s and stuff. So, but I mean, I would just be patient.
For sure.
Be patient with it, because so your Kill 20 was.
Oh God, we filmed October 6th.
October.
So it hasn't even been 3 months yet.
So it hasn't even been 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, still thrive, still like want better for yourself, but also you gotta like be patient. I'm just like, not just for you, but like anybody that's new, be patient with this whole thing. My pet peeve, I guess, with a lot of newer comics is that they're so quick to go like, it's other people's fault that I'm not where I want to be.
Oh, yeah.
They want to claim gatekeepers, or they want to claim cliques, or people that are out against them and their success. Like, what they don't understand is, like, for me personally, like, I didn't get any traction until I was like 4 years in.
Yeah.
I didn't do any shows. Nobody booked me my first year. All I was doing was open mics. My first show wasn't until a year in, and I booked it myself. I produced it myself, booked it myself, because nobody was booking me. And I wasn't really, like, asking anybody to put me on their shows, because I was still learning and stuff, I didn't want to, like, ask for something that I wasn't prepared to give, But, like, a lot of people, like, 3 months in. I mean, like, well, for you, it's different because like you came out swinging pretty hard. You know, like I was impressed. I saw you at LOL. I was impressed with that. Saw your Kill Tony thing, and then I was like, I offered you a guest spot on the last Hot Damn, dude, and you did good there. Yeah, like, I'm not saying it's not beyond, or it's not impossible to like get good bookings, you know, within the first year. All I'm saying is like, don't get discouraged and don't try to blame it on anybody else. Like, why you're not doing it. Like,
I think also like having, being old and more mature, and like I have a career and a day job, like a career, right? And so it's like I've been through the grind of like getting experience and knowing like the people ahead of you are ahead of you for a reason, and you've got to like put in your reps and all that, right? I think it's sort of interesting. It's like the more I dig in, like it's like, how do I, what I'm thinking about right now is how do I find that balance, right, between being aggressive but also like not overextending myself and like burning relationships and bridges and things like that, because I don't want to go to like bookers and say like, hey, put me on for 15 and then just fucking suck. And now you've like burned that person. They're not going to come back to you anytime soon.
Because that last impression is the lasting impression. Like that's the last thing that they're going to remember you by. And you could be aggressive and say like, put me on, like, all right, I'll put you on, and then like just eat a bag of dicks, and you're just like, yeah, man, we're not doing that again. We're not going to do that again and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, I think it's cool. I appreciate people that kind of start a little older too, because I mean, I know what that's about, rather than like, coming in at 21 and stuff. Like, there's comics out there that were not even like in high school that like started doing that. I was like, damn, by the time you're 20, 25, like they're gonna be a beast. I don't have that luxury. I started late, but also like I kind of like, I have a different mentality than a lot of open micers would have. Because of the age thing.
Well, and it's been interesting just like getting into this and meeting all these different people, and even like people you see on Kill Tony and places like that, and like you'll see so many people with a lot of experience just like bomb an open mic here and there too, and it's just like such a unique industry, and that like you just never really know what's going to happen with someone. So like even someone who's getting started at 16 years old, by the time they're 30, they may not be any better too.
Yeah, I mean, there are
they'll be a little better, like right? Like, but it's just, I don't know. It's really cool. It's like a very much more of a meritocracy than I think people realize. It's like yes, you have to network and schmooze and all that, and like that's every job. But like if you're good, you're gonna get booked, right? Like if you're not good, you're not gonna get booked. So that whole thing about like, oh, people gatekeeping and all that, like these people are interested in getting audiences and making money as comedy clubs and producers and things like that. Like I don't think they're gonna let their personal impression color that as much as people would think.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's a reputation, not only for their show. Like the club has to keep up a certain like expectation for people, so they keep coming back. They keep spending money. They come back, they spend money, they are guaranteed a good show. If you can't guarantee a good show, or at least a good effort, you're putting a good effort into it. Like you're not doing any favors for the club, and they're not going to do you any favors if you're not going to like help them help you, type of thing.
Totally.
But I don't know. What would have happened if like your Kill Tony didn't go as good as it did?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly,
like you've seen people like
I've seen people like bomb, but I also I don't think I would have done it if I really felt like there was a chance of me bombing.
Really?
Right? Like I feel like I have good instincts for like what is actually funny. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like maybe it went like for a first timer, I think it went amazing. Like when I look back on it, it's like, yeah, I mean, you were funny. I don't know if I would necessarily call the whole thing jokes, right? It's just more of like anecdotally funny kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to imagine just because like, well, I already did it and it did go good.
Yeah.
I think I would have like still tried some open mics, but I think it would have been harder to like continue like not because open mics, it's like sometimes it's all comedians, nobody laughs. Like it's really a hard environment. Like I don't understand how someone can be 20 years old and grind open mics for a year or something like that. Like you have to have a delusional level of belief in yourself to survive that.
Yeah. And sometimes that helps, the delusional belief in yourself,
So I don't know. I mean, I think I definitely would have, started hitting mics and things like that anyway.
Okay, so you were planning to get into this.
Yeah,
anyway.
like
Okay.
I want to do this ultimately, right?
Okay,
Like
okay.
long term, I would love to just, hey, I'm JD, I'm a comedian. Not I'm JD, I'm a consultant who does comedy on the side and doesn't make any money, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's a long time to get to that point too, right?
Yeah.
Like even if you're good.
I mean,
so.
for a lot of people, it takes a long time. There's some instances where like they blow up, within the first couple of years.
Yeah.
You know,
So
that
you
could
never
also,
know.
that could
Like,
also happen
yeah.
too.
But I'd also be totally happy with like, it being my retirement plan, if you will, right? And being like, hey, maybe by the time I'm 50, like if I can just not have to have a corporate job and I can be a struggling comedian, like,
Okay.
why not? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a more interesting and more fulfilling life to me than like sitting behind a desk doing IT shit for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay, did you have anything else besides comedy that you wanted to do, like as far as you call it, like your midlife crisis? What other things were on the midlife crisis list if it wasn't stand up?
if it wasn't stand up, it'd probably be something like opening a barbecue food truck or something like that.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm pretty damn good at cooking and barbecue. So.
Okay.
But comedy, it's kind of easier. Like I don't have to clean a kitchen every day.
It's so much easier. So much easier. Like it's not easy, but it's so much easier than the other things.
It is hard work. It's just like it's as hard as you want it to be. Also, right? Like you can do a million mics and a podcast and get into all this other stuff, or you can just do comedy and be on stage and write on your own, and it's sort of like what you want to make of it. Like you start getting into something like even running a food truck, you're going to be having to go buy stuff, cleaning, like all the other things that aren't fun.
Because it does sound like fun, and then you're like, oh yeah, I gotta clean that shit.
Running a cash
every
register.
day. Yeah. Keep up with the quality of it and all that stuff. Comedy is so much easier.
My wife will attest. I'm good at the cooking part. The cleaning is definitely my least favorite. So, I'm fucking disaster every time.
So barbecue's your thing?
Yeah, for sure. Like I love it. But yeah, that's probably like the only other thing. Like, I'm not. I have other things that are hobbies. I like to play golf and stuff like that. But I'm like, obviously, I'm never going to be a professional golfer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I think that ship sailed like 43 years ago before I was born.
Yeah, you started too late. Man. You started too late.
My kid likes golf though. My 5-year-old, so she's got a shot.
Oh, okay, yeah. You gotta live through her, vicariously through her. Live my dreams. Be play golf like I wanted to. And you could always do the cooking thing, the barbecue thing later too. Like
yeah. I mean, you never know. Like the biggest thing for me is just like I want to do things that actually fundamentally make me happy, and I don't think until now I've really like tried to do that. It's like I like my job, pays well, like it's cool, it's intellectually stimulating, but it's also I've been doing it for over 20 years at this point, so it's also kind of don't want to do that 20, 30, 40 more years maybe, like probably not. And I love making people laugh, like getting a laugh out of someone.
Yeah,
that's my cocaine.
Yeah.
Besides cocaine.
You keep bringing up cocaine.
No, I'm just kidding.
You keep bringing up this elusive drug.
I never heard of it. I was listening to a podcast on the way over, and it got brought up, so I figured I'd throw it out there as my word of the day.
Yeah.
But,
I was like, do you have any?
Clearly not, Patrick.
No,
clearly not.
You could be. You could be
That's
big.
true. There's a lot of fat cokeheads. So,
yeah, dude.
most of them are dead, but
well, there's that too. It is cardio.
Yeah.
It's a bad cardio. Damn, dude. What's one thing that you kind of thought it would be like? Now that you're on the other side of the comedy thing, what's one thing that you thought it would be, and what's one thing that you were surprised about?
Oh man, what I thought it would be, or that I expected, very very hard to just come in and like make connections, and everything's new, right? So it's like I knew coming in it'd be hard to like start networking and putting myself out there. Like that's something I'm not like. I'm a personable person. I love talking to people one-on-one like this. I'm not a like, hey, I'm going to message someone over Instagram and be like, hey, can I be on your show? Or anything like that. So having to get over that a little bit is something I expected. But I feel like I'm doing an okay job at. What I didn't realize was just like when you really like look deep into comedy, the like actual artistry that goes into what great comedians do, right? The writing processes people use, knowing sort of the science or neuroscience behind things in terms of like joke structures and all this other stuff that you can like dig into like once you're doing this. You kind of think like, oh, that guy's funny, so he wrote some funny jokes, like tested him out, made him a little funnier. What you don't realize is like the sort of science of how people are taking some of what they write and putting it through, like improving it in a more scientific manner than you would realize, right?
Yeah.
Also, the fact that like no one makes any money, like
yeah, there's not a lot of money in this thing. There's not a lot of money.
People don't realize like some of your favorite comics like probably still have day jobs, even if you're like really into comedy, right? Even the like people you're like, oh, that guy is touring and all that. It's like, dude, they're not flying a private jet everywhere.
Yeah.
Like that guy's in a van, like bouncing around the country. You know, so that's kind of like interesting. Of like, you have this massive ecosystem of all the comedy clubs and open mics and all that, and it's like, man, the pie everyone's after to like try to live off comedy is so much smaller than you realize. Like going into it, but also like how many people are actually out there doing comedy is like unbelievable. Like you don't know, because as an outsider, you're like buying tickets to a show. Usually you're just buying stuff to like name shows, and so you're like aware of like 100 or 200 comedians maybe off the top of your head at best. And you go to Austin, there's like 500 open micers crawling the streets every night, like going to different different places, right? Even in San Antonio, like my God, we have so many comedians here like that I hadn't heard of, and there's so many like solid like good people too. Yeah, so like
it's a lot. Like it's comedy is very popular now, and everyone wants a piece of it. Everybody wants to get, and that's another thing too. Like there's the spaces are limited. Stage time is very limited and stuff. That doesn't mean there's gatekeepers. That doesn't mean there's like fucking people trying to hold you down. Like you can't take it personal. It's just like, well, these people have worked at it longer. They're more established. There's more of a guarantee of what they're gonna bring rather than you who maybe started a couple months ago or something. So there's different. But how are you with networking? Like, have you met any of your comics or any comics that you've like looked up to and had a conversation with?
No, not really yet. Like, I don't think I've had kind of the opportunity to do that yet. Right? As like you mentioned, Kill Tony, you get shit out into the alley immediately afterwards. It's not like everyone's like, how was it meeting? Fluffy and Sal, and I'm like, I don't know if I actually met them per se. I stood adjacent to them, and we didn't really connect. We exchanged a few sentences, So that's the interesting part too. San Antonio, it's like there's just not as many opportunities to like run into someone at a mic or anything. So like in Austin, I've run into like some of the Kill Tony people, like Drew Nickens, Sarah Sloan, like some of the staff of Kill Tony and people like that, and like that's been cool, but haven't really run into like anyone who's like a big name or anything. You're my most famous comedian friend right now.
Oh, damn, I'm sorry.
So you gotta you gotta get those numbers up.
That's a lot of pressure, man. I am not a celebrity by any means, dude. I'm very bad at it. Like even like I was thinking about this because I was going through like everything that I've done this year. I started off the year opening up for Sean Jordan and Kyle Kinane. And I'm a huge Kyle Kinane fan.
I love Kyle Kinane.
And I was so nervous. Like, you ever do this thing? You'll probably run into this more like when you get more into it and stuff. But when you finally have an opportunity to like hang out and have a conversation with these people, and it's kind of hard to explain. Like when something that I say they agree with, not even a joking thing. Like with Kyle Kinane, for instance, we talked about how I don't know what happened. I saw that documentary about Yacht Rock, You've seen that Yacht Rock
I
documentary?
have not, and I need to because I love yacht rock.
You love not see. So I've always like joked on it. I was like, "Fuck Steely Dan, fuck the doobie." But I don't need any of that stuff. And then I watched the documentary. I was like, "Man, these are all fucking bangers, dude." And so we were talking music because I initially was gonna ask Kyle if he wanted to jam out because I play drums and he plays guitar. So I was like, maybe we'll have some time to like have a jam session. Never happened, whatever. But we were like talking music and I brought like this yacht rock stuff and he was like, his face just lit up. He was like, "Ooh, yeah, so I want to have this conversation." And I'm just like, look at me having conversations with Kyle Kinane, dude. And but it didn't always. Not everything I said worked out. One of the last things I've said to Kyle Kinane is, and I regret this so much, is if I told him something about around, man, if I wasn't married, I would probably be a huge creep. And he's just like, "What do you mean by that?" And I was like, "Fuck, what did I mean by that? Why did I say that?" I was like, I forget what we were talking about, like single people. Oh, because he had lunch with a female comic local here. She doesn't really go out too much. She wasn't in New York. She's here now, I think, for some family issues and stuff. And so we were talking about how there's not a lot of female comics and that she should come back to comedy. She comes back every now and then, whatever. But we were talking about that, and he's like, "Yeah, it has to be like rough for the female comics, having to deal with like the asshole males and male dominant and male attitude and all that stuff. And even like they can't go out without being hit on all the time." And I said, "Yeah, if I wasn't married, I would be such a creep." And I was like,
Oh,
"Fuck, why did I say that?" So and now I think that's that last thing he remembers. Like that totally erased like the good conversation we had about yacht rock or like music in general and stuff. And I was like, "Fuck, why?" And that still haunts me to the day. I don't know if he remembers that. But and I'm glad I put this on a podcast now about the
now he does,
because I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean like creepy guy, but I would just be like, well, especially now, like all guys are creeps, dude. Like you have to have a sense of creepiness to like even flirt with these women, or like you gotta email them or DM them and all this. I don't know. You're a married guy.
Stay married.
Not your
Just
problem.
stay married.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about it.
That's one of the benefits. I tell my wife, like, get your shit together because I'm not going anywhere, dude. Like, stop pissing me off sometimes. You're like all the time, like you're all I have.
It's great though because like you started talking about that, and I was thinking like, man, the whole time I'd be like, how do I just not come across as a creep or a weirdo? And then like you totally just nailed it right at the end.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'd be a total creep.
I would be total creep. I was like, what did I say? What did I even mean? I don't even mean that. I don't mean anything that I said. But yeah, so I was thinking about that. Like, cause like, when you fumble the bag, like when you have the opportunity to meet, one of your idols or something. Like I had an encounter with David Tell. And I was like, I can't leave it like that. Like he can't die without us having another encounter because I need it to be more memorable. The encounter that I had, Comedy Cellar in New York, like 3 years ago, and I just went to go see the show. You ever been to the Comedy Cellar in New York?
No, never. So I've never been to any comedy stuff in New York. I've been in New York a few times. So.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny, and everybody like. The customers and the comics, they all use the same bathroom, whatever. It's the smallest bathroom in the world. And so I'm in there, I'm doing my thing, and David Tell walks in behind me, and I was like, "Oh shit, David Tell," but I'm already peeing, And so he's behind me, and he's trying to get into the stall, and I'm like blocking the door. He's not able to open the door because I'm that wide or whatever. And he goes like, "Hey, excuse me, pal." And I was like, "Whoa, David Tell just called me pal, dude. That's fucking awesome." And so I was I finished up and I was like, do I wait for him to finish? Do I go outside? Like, how am I, like, what's going to happen next, dude? And so the whole time I was like, well, I'm just going to leave it like that. He called me pal. Yeah, we were in the bathroom, but it's weird. But hey, I'll carry this. I'll cherish this moment forever. And then, he performs. I actually see him perform. I was like, oh, this is fucking great. He actually closed out the show. And so I'm leaving the show, and he's sitting outside on the stoop, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I was like, I could, one, try to have a moment with him, or and I'm always so worried, like, oh, I'm gonna fumble the bag. You know, I'm gonna say something stupid. He's gonna fucking, or I'll just our last interaction was he called me pal. Doesn't matter the situation. Doesn't matter that
Doesn't matter your hand was on your dick.
Doesn't matter my penis was out. Doesn't matter he was just trying to take a shit, you know, or something. He called me pal, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. And so I just like I act like I was taking a picture of the Comedy Store sign, and I'm just like slightly like trying to take a picture of David Tell while he's smoking, and just like not bothering him and shit. I was like, oh, this is the creepy shit. This is fucking pretty creepy. This is what I mean by you're gonna be a creep. But yeah, it's just all stuff like that. I just worried about like, and then now it happens more often that I get to work with people that I've never imagined working with, meeting, and so like. Okay, one, you don't want to be like the creepy guy that doesn't say anything. Like, what? You don't talk much. You know, you gotta jump in there. You know, it's like the double dutch. You know, you gotta jump in there. It's cool. You'll be fine. Or you're gonna ruin whatever idea this person's gonna carry about you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so there's like it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, and I'm not too good at it and stuff. But. So that's something you have to look forward to.
I think for me, it's like I'm usually pretty comfortable if I meet someone, like even if they're like outside of comedy, you see someone who's like well known but not like famous.
Yeah.
Like I don't, hopefully don't mess it up too badly or anything. But I think the crazy thing, you going on. I saw like before the holidays your theater shows you were doing, right? Like
yeah.
Opening for like Chingo Bling and people like that, what is that even just like to do that? Like, I mean, just do you feel like an unusual amount of pressure in that show? Do you go in going like, "Hey, I'm here for a reason"? Like,
yeah, with Chingo, I knew of him before we worked together. He did my podcast before, so I've met him before. And then he was very impressed with the Kill Tony thing. He was very like, dude, we got to work together one of these days, man. You did really good on the drums, blah, blah, blah. You did good. We'll work together. And so I was like, yeah, let's do that. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, man, I see you got a lot of Texas shows coming up. Do you need a opener or you have a guest spot? Like, I'll drive wherever. And he's like, man, we're like, yeah, if you're going to drive all the way, we should make it worth it, right? And I was like, dude, I'll do any amount of time, 5 minutes, whatever you got. He goes, well, how about you host? You want to host? And I was like, yeah, dude. And he's like, cool. And then he just gave me a list of dates, like all the Texas dates. I was like, all of them? I could have all of them? So it was pretty cool. So that one, it was cool. What I appreciate the most out of all the dates is like, because he's from Houston, right?
Okay.
He knows a lot of people out of Houston. And that he allowed me to open the show in his hometown at the Houston Improv was like, I felt like that was a huge honor, because again, like he from Houston, there's a lot of Houston comics, would have, he could have booked anybody, and he asked me to do those shows, so those were pretty cool. And then we're doing a New Year's Eve show with Chingo and Javi Luna.
Nice, yeah.
So that one wasn't too intimidating, because I already knew of him, and he knew of me, or he was not impressed, but like I guess impressed, supportive of my work, and he wanted to work with me and stuff. When I did the Empire Theater with George Janko, I had no idea who he was.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. I looked him up after the fact. I know that he was one of the co-hosts for the Impulsive podcast that got kicked out. He's very religious.
Oh,
very religious. So, and not that I'm not anti-religious. I'm just not religious.
I feel
as some people. And so when they hit me up, they wanted me to do Houston and then San Antonio. But because I'm from San Antonio, I wanted to do the Empire Theater, and I knew that I had to be squeaky clean.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go up to Houston and get fired off of my set and not get the opportunity to do the Empire Theater. So I told him I can't do Houston. I'll just do the San Antonio one, thinking like, oh shit, I just lost my chance, whatever. But so for that one, it was a little bit weird. I was a little bit standoffish with him because again, I watched his podcast afterwards. It's very very religion based. He was a huge, not huge. He was good friends with Charlie Kirk.
Ah, okay.
So he had all that stuff. He talked about that a lot.
Let's be careful.
Yeah. And so what was funny though was when I talked to his manager, I did like a lot of the communications with the manager. So I did a lot like talked with the manager and like I'm not really into politics. I don't really discuss politics, but for some reason I was discussing politics with the manager, and I was like, man, I should really shut up about this. I'm like, I'm definitely not talking to George like this, like shit like that. So I really didn't get a chance to talk to him too much. I wound up doing another theater show with him. We did the some auditorium in Austin. That was a huge mix-up too. I don't know. He had some issues with tickets and stuff. Like his Houston show, the website said that the show was canceled, so a lot of people didn't show up to that one. And then the Austin show was supposed to be at the Bass Music Hall, which is like the biggest fucking theater in Austin.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna do the Bass Music Hall, and then it turned out to be the auditorium at UT, because the same thing, they had a lot of issues with people trying to get tickets. And so after the show, he's like, man, you're kind of bad luck on my shows, huh? I'm probably not gonna ever book you again. And I'm just like, but he didn't laugh.
Oh,
I was like, oh, all right. Can we take a picture? So I took a picture with him after that, and then I was like, I don't think he understands remembers what shows I was on, because the Empire show was pretty packed out.
yeah.
But he had a bad time in Austin and Houston, and then he had another bad time in Austin. He's like, yeah, man, I kind of think you're bad luck. I don't think I'm gonna ever have you open for me. It was like, cool, man. God's dead. So, but I didn't. No, I didn't say that, but I thought that. And Renee, when I got to open for Renee Vaca, dude, that was just by luck, because I was supposed to drive out to Houston that night. I was supposed to do a spot at the Black Rabbit, but I was trying to line up another spot because I didn't want to just drive out just for one 5-minute spot, whatever, and couldn't line anything up for that night, and so I told Black Rabbit, I was like, hey, I'm not gonna come out tonight. I'm just gonna stay in town, blah blah blah. And about an hour before the show, they called to see if I was available to open the show at the Tobin Center. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'm there. I'm going to be there. Fuck yeah. And Renee was so cool, man. I guess he's used to like meeting newer comics, or I mean, new to him or whatever, comics and stuff, because he made it a point to make me feel like so comfortable.
That's great.
I walked in, they were all like huddled up and eating stuff, and like everybody's like, hey, what's up? He got up and he walked to me. He's like, hey man, thank you for coming out. I appreciate you jumping on the show. I was like, no man, I thank you, whatever. And I'm into sports. I'm not really like a sports guy. Like I don't know a lot about stats or money or how that works and stuff. But he was like, because I was wearing my Mariners cap. He's like, oh, so you're a Mariners fan? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I threw out the first pitch for them and all this stuff. Like, yeah, I saw that. That was cool. And he's like, I'm a Dodgers guy. And he's like talking about Ohtani, and like he's like, yeah, man, like we spent all this money, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I start debating him about how it's unfair that the Dodgers get to spend all this money. Like, again, talking out of my ass, dude. Not knowing what the fuck I'm saying was making sense. And like, we're like debating stuff. I was like, no, man. He's like, it was like Wemby. Like, they want Wemby, like, they're trying to implement like a height size in NBA, because they say like it's unfair that Wemby's so tall. And I had just heard that or read that somewhere, so I was like, it's like, y'all with having all the money, so we could have the tallest motherfucker that there is, and we're just going back and forth talking about sports. Like it was to the point where like we were going back and forth for a while, that like once we stopped, I was just like, I'm so spent, because I use all my like energy and like lingo of sports just like to talk to him and have this conversation. And so he was very cool, man. I mean, he's probably like for being as viral and as huge as he is, he was like, he made me feel very comfortable, which is not their job to do. Yeah. But also it's very much appreciated. Like he could be standoffish and kind of whatever. It was funny though. Like he kept inviting me to the. He wanted me to go to the after party thing, and I was like, "Yeah, dude," but I don't drink and drive. I think I'm too old. Like a DWI, you're supposed to get it in your 20s or your 60s. Like when you don't give a fuck about anything, you know. I can't be getting a DWI at 40, 43.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, man, I'll be right there. I'll be right there." So I went home to drop my car off, and then I called a Lyft to take me to the spot that they were going to. And so I get there, and I'm like, you ever been to 1902?
That's like the underground one, right? No,
No, that's 1919.
Oh, okay.
1902 is it's a dance club or whatever. And
I have not been to there for sure. If it's a dance club.
So, but they had like a reserved a spot and all this
Okay.
stuff. So I was like, yeah, man, we're gonna go VIP, get pop bottles and all this stuff. But I walk in there and like it's such a young group of people because apparently this night is like 18 and up night.
Oh,
And so I was like, damn. So like, I'm texting his manager. I was like, hey man, are y'all here yet? Because I don't want to go in if there's nothing, all these kids and shit. So I'm texting them, nothing. Texting another guy that works with them, nothing. So I'm just standing outside for 20 minutes, you know, and I'm just standing there, and people are like, where's he at? Where's he at? I was like, man, I'm waiting for him too, man. And then they come out the side door. They've been there the whole time. They come out the side door, they just get in the cars and they take off. I was like, damn, man, I missed my opportunity to do the after party thing with Renee Vodka.
dang.
Yeah, but I had no business there anyway, man. I probably just would have messed it up.
Yeah, it's like once you're in your 40s, do you really want to be in a dance club with a bunch of 18-year-olds?
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
you know,
it would have been a bad look and stuff.
They don't want us there either.
They don't want us there. I felt like when I walked in, everybody was just like turns, like, what is this guy
it's like the
doing
record
here?
scratch.
The record scratch
movie,
thing.
you know?
Like, who is this? Who the fuck is this old man, dude? Creep. So, but
They knew.
Yeah. But it was cool, and also, like we were like bullshitting after the show. I don't smoke, but I stood in circles while they were smoking, and I was just like pretending. I was like, yeah, here you go, you know, like whatever, passing it along and stuff. And he was talking about something that happened, and I gave him a couple of tags on it, you know, because he was just telling a story. He's not even going through a bit. He was just telling a story.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's because of this, that, and the other. He goes, dude, that's fucking funny, man. He's like, I'm gonna use that. Can I use that? I was like, yeah, dude, fucking take it, dude. Well, yeah, you need a writer? I could write for you, dude. Like, but like, he's like, dude, like that's good. I'm gonna put that on Netflix. I was like, what, dude? Oh, dude, put my name down on there too, like co-written.
Yeah.
Just because I gave him a tag on some bullshit. But that's cool. When people think you're funny, like people that you admire, people that you like that are in the business, like really in the business, and they think you're funny, that's a different type of validation than like the audience laughing at you on stage.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I think I never thought about that before, but like I think like because you hear people like hire writers for either sitcoms or joke writers, you know, and all that stuff. I think that's something I wouldn't mind getting into, like helping people, you know, tag up their jokes or punch up their jokes or something like that. Like if I can't perform it, I still want to like be a joke writer somehow. I get my jokes on stage somehow.
Nice.
So I don't know if that's something.
Yeah, it's something I've always thought about and like been kind of interested into. Like it's just because I guess maybe it's when you start out, you start like really analyzing other people's sets.
Yeah.
And like sometimes something will pop into my head where I'm like, oh, that'd be like a good tag for that.
Yeah.
A couple Austin comics who like I'm on, very good terms with. I've just like sent them a message like, hey, like use it or don't, but I just got to write this down. I saw your joke. Like, you can have this if you want to use it. And, I know most comics hate unsolicited joke advice, but these are people who like I actually have talked to in person before. And it's just like, hey, you don't have to use it. Don't tell me if you use it.
Yeah.
But it popped in my head. I think it could be good. Take it.
I had a real bad habit of doing that earlier on. Like anytime I watch, that's why I really don't watch people like a lot of like, especially at the open mics. I just listen for the rhythm of the crowd, like how they respond to like whatever they're saying and stuff. But before, I was so bad at that. Like somebody would come off stage, was like, "Hey man, you should say this, you should say that, you should try this, try that," and then we were like, "Yeah. Who the fuck are you?" I was like, "Yeah, that's right. Who the fuck am I?" I like that stuff because like there's sometimes where like it's like it's a brain exercise for you, or for me rather, I guess,
Yeah.
to like kind of tag up the jokes or trying to think of something else. I was trying to do a writing session mic, where I would help people like tag up their jokes and stuff. Never came through. The Riot wants me to run a writing session there. I need to find the time.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So we might do that.
So,
we might do that on like Wednesdays in the new year. Writing section, just like a mixer workshop, like before the showcase starts. But yeah, did you do that competition, the fist competition?
I did. Yeah, it was fun. Did not advance past the first round. Didn't expect to.
What are your as a new comic? What are your expectations as far as like a comedy contest?
Man,
thoughts and expectations.
Don't look like an asshole for being there. It's like probably my baseline that I want to get to. You know. No. So for that, it was more of like. Honestly, it was more the stage time than anything, where I'm like, hey, you know what? It's a 7-minute set. Like, that was the first time I did 7 minutes was that contest. So I had enough material. I was like, I want to go and do a longer set and have a good time with it and see how it goes. Like, did good, got a lot of laughs, just wasn't in the top 3 for the night or whatever. So that's fine. You know, I'm not a run your own race kind of person too, where it's like, I set goals and I'm aggressive about things, not because I'm trying to like beat anyone out. It's like I just want to push myself to be as good as like I can be, right? And wherever that lands, once I'm on stage, it's like, cool, this is where I am today.
Yeah.
You know?
Those contests are tough because it's like like you could do good or bad, but as long as you have like the numbers.
Yeah, if you have your people there,
if you have your
like
people
enough
there,
people,
it's just like.
But I mean, my night, the people that won, like. The top 3 were really good. Like Jamil Jackson was the winner, the number 1 for the night. That guy's really great comic. You know, I'm not feeling bad about the people I lost to or anything that night.
Yeah.
The Polish guy who's been on Kill Tony, Tomek or whatever, Kolecki, I think. He was there that night.
A lot of people have been mentioning. I don't know that guy.
Really? Okay.
A lot of people have mentioned his name.
Yeah, I met him at one of the Narbar open mics one night.
He's
and
from
just
Austin?
chatted. So he's from Poland, and he was like over here for a while doing comedy. I don't know if he still is.
Okay.
But he went on Kill Tony. He's apparently like huge in Poland. I don't know how big Poland is, if I'm being honest. So that could be like a million fans for all I know.
Yeah.
But really nice dude. Really, really funny guy too. So I met him up there like shortly after his Kill Tony appearance. And then it just so happened we got scheduled on the same night for the Riot contest. So he was one of the top 3. The guys who are winning that are, they've been doing it for 10 plus years. So me walking in there, zero expectation, right? Just more of like, I want to be in that environment. I want to see if I fit in, you know what I mean? Like, so me going up there, having a good set, like not sticking out like a sore thumb, that's a win at 2 months in at the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
as long as you're not the worst on worst comic.
Pretty much, yeah. And I was not, for sure. So I feel good about that.
Well, that's good, man. It's good to have those like kind of expectations. Like, I'm not expecting to win. I just don't want to be the worst.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, if you do that long enough, eventually you'll, I don't know, win maybe? I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or just not lose. So
yeah, I never do good at competitions, and it kind of like it's an ego. It affects my ego a little bit because like it's not. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I guess there's one that wasn't really fair, but it's neither here nor there. It's fine.
I did like. It was my first experience of having stakes on what I'm doing, right? This outside of the Kill Tony thing, of where like, it is a competition. Like, there's real people here. Like, don't be the asshole on stage who shouldn't have signed up or anything. So like, I enjoyed that, not for the competitive aspect, but just the like pushing me, making me like write harder, making me think harder, making me be more performative. You know, those sorts of things. So I think from a development standpoint, it's useful. It's like not something I really care about ever winning though, or anything. Do
you have any rituals yet? Any rituals before you go on stage?
No, like. Other than sit around and drink beer because I'm bored and I need to do something. So. But like, and I don't get like drunk before getting on stage. It's like I'll have like 2 ultras or something like that while I'm just waiting for my time. Besides that, no, I just honestly I kind of like write all the way up until I'm on, like just continuing to like think about jokes and refine because I also find when I'm in that atmosphere, it gets my comedy brain like going, and I want to just capture all the weird thoughts I have like while I'm talking to myself. And that's it. I mean, no.
I used to have this one where it was kind of like a memory thing where I would sing. I'm not even a huge Counting Crows fan, but I would sing.
Good band though.
They're a good band. They have a documentary out that I'm watching right now, like about like their first 2 albums and stuff. It's on HBO. I started it this morning, but I haven't finished it yet. Very interesting. I didn't realize like Adam Duritz was like such a mental case. He was pretty crazy.
I've like seen bits and pieces over time about him being a bit of a personality at times. You know? So we saw them at, my wife and I went and saw them at the like F1 track a couple of years ago when they were up there, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. But I've heard from friends the complete opposite. They're like, worst concert I've ever been to. I was like, all right, well, I caught them on a great night, I guess.
Yeah, because apparently like they're one of the bands that doesn't play the song like it's on the CD.
Oh, yeah.
Like they changed it up for them, which is fine. Like I'm fine with that. I mean, for the most part, like unless it's like one of my favorite songs, please play it like I love it, you know. But yeah, why did I bring that? Oh, because that was a ritual of mine for the first like 3 years of comedy. Is I would like sing on the way to like a mic or on the way to a show. I would sing "Round Here" and "Mr. Jones." Nice. Just because I, for whatever reason, I know every word to those songs. And again, I don't even think I'm that big of a Counting Crows fan. I mean, I do like the first album, but like I wouldn't say like I'm a fucking Crow head or whatever. But like just like a memory thing. Like if I could repeat these words, every word, I'm probably gonna remember my set.
Oh, okay.
You know. And I've grown out of it now, and I just pace and mumble to myself, and I hate this. Why do I do this to myself all the time? Oh, they're gonna hate me.
That's honestly, that's the thing I've found the hardest so far. Is just like actually remembering your set, especially like as you increase the time that you're on stage, right? Like even for your show, it was like there were tags during my set that I missed, you know, that I wanted to get out there, and you know, so I'd have to kind of like adjust some of my timing on the fly and things like that, which I know will happen to anyone, but it's just like, man, it's so much harder than people realize to memorize, like, you know, a set, and then you've also got to sort of leave the room in there for, you know, when something hits your brain in the moment to be able to say that. It's wild. There's just like so many levels you can dig into in terms of your performance and ways you can get better. And like, that's another thing is like just concentrating on like, hey, what do I need to be doing right now and not worrying about, you know? It's even the writing thing of just like, hey, make sure the writing's personal, make sure it's what you know. Like, I don't need to go write Trump jokes right now. Right. Like, because there's a million it's also like there's a million other comics who can write that joke. But I'm the only one that can write this joke that's about like me and my family, right? And so that was some great advice I actually got from doing a total joke off one time. You know, because you start out with a case of the clevers, and you're like, oh, I'm so funny, you know? Like, let me write this joke about Kwanzaa, you know? And that did not go well. It was not a bad. It really wasn't a bad joke, but it's just not.
It's not the right room,
not the right
audience
mouthpiece for that joke, probably. So just remembering to like, you know, focus and say like, hey, these are like the things I'm working on right now. Like right now, I'm not worried about getting booked on shows. I'm worried about like understanding my own writing process and voice, and like, what's the best way for me to keep notes, refine notes? What's the best way for me to work on a bit that works for me? And like, so that's like really where my head's at, or, you know, for the next couple months, I think. I still want to get booked on shows where I can, just because like that's a valuable thing. But yeah, I'm just trying to like get better, do better, you know? So.
Well, cool, man. I mean, like, 3 months in. Well, no, since October. What is that? I'm bad at math. 3 months.
Yeah. So January 6th will be 3 months. So that'll give me something to celebrate on January 6th.
Yeah. Another thing to celebrate for you.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You would think.
No, man. But I mean, it's pretty impressive. Thank you for doing a podcast. I wanted to get you on. Like, I was like impressed from the moment I saw you, and you did pretty good on the hot damn thing. So. Appreciate that. Maybe next year you could do a 15-minute spot.
That would be fucking awesome. So that's one of the goals. I'm like, I want to be good enough by next year to like actually be on your show, like not do a guest spot. So we'll see. Stay tuned.
Yeah. But yeah, man, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.